History and heritage took center stage recently when the owner of MSR Hotels St. turned over an estate bell to the St. Christopher National Trust. The bell had been a fixture at the Fisherman's Wharf in Terrace. The idea of this transfer of the bell began with a conversation between Greg Pereira, whose father Colin Pereira was the original owner of the Ocean Terrace Inn and Fisherman's Wharf, and Gary Colt, MSR Media Project Coordinator. The handover took place on site on 17 February 2023 in the presence of some of the MSR hotel staff, while Colt and Pereira spoke about their interaction.
Well, MSR, under the leadership of Mr. Philippe Martinez, has acquired what is known in St. Kitts as OTI and Fisherman. The project that we're going to undertake is renovating the hotel, which has started, and then we're going to start renovating Fisherman's Wharf. While we did this, Mr. Greg Pereira approached me, as we're long-term friends, and told me about this wonderful bell. Gave me a little synopsis of its history, after which I spoke to Mr. Philippe Martinez, explained that all to him, and he was amazed of the history of the bell, and said, of course, we have to donate this bell to the heritage of St. Kitts and preserve it. So we all decided to unite today to do this handover in favor of St. Kitts, led by Mr. Greg Pereira and ETSU and the Ministry of Sustainable Affairs and Environment. So we're proud to do this gesture for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, especially considering it seems to be the only known existing bell from that heritage.
I did, in fact, alert her to the bell being and the significance of the bell, as it was essentially the heartbeat of plantations for centuries, not just for enslaved people, but also for indentured laborers. It's really an epic moment for me to know that this is going to go into the good hands of our National Trust. And it really is a privilege to be here as part of the National Trust team to see it handed over by MSR. Thank you so much.
Dr. Joy Clark, Minister of the Ministry of Sustainable Development, the ministry with responsibility for the National Trust, said heritage is an important facet of the government's sustainable transformation. Laverne Keynes, Vice President of the National Trust, also spoke of the importance of the bell to the country.
Many of us don't know that the National Trust falls under purview of the Minister and Ministry of Sustainable Development, and we are committed to including heritage, to promoting heritage or history as part of our sustainable transformation. What we have here is something that's part of who we are as petitions and divisions, and we're happy that MSR team has so graciously donated this to the National Trust, and I'm very proud as Minister of Sustainable Development to be here to witness this moment and also to continue the partnership between the National Trust, Ministry of Sustainable Development, UNESCO Man and the Biosphere, and MSR Media.
It is very significant. I am certain that there'll be lots of people who were not aware that there was a bell, much less the history behind the bell. And so we're happy that we were chosen at the National Trust to be the custodian of this bell. We hope that Mr. Pereira could provide some more details so that when it is actually displayed in the museum, the average citizen, the boy in Payon and the girl in Molyneux and the young man in Jessup St. Nevis can come and read the history on this bell. We can't escape it that this was part of our history. And so we may as well embrace what it was and use it as a reminder of how far we've come.
Laverne Keynes, the Executive Director of the National Trust, said it is important to protect and to preserve the heritage of the people of St. Kitts.
I first want to thank Mr. Philippe Martinez, who is not here, but he's the founder of MSR. And I know that his thoughts are with us this afternoon. We want to thank him because he's the person who had to give the final consent for the handing over of this bell. Now, the act which we are governed by at the St. Christopher National Trust. The act guides us, and it is imperative that we protect and preserve the history and heritage of the persons, the people of St. Kitts. And so, this bell, which is very historical, It is one of the most important items that would be displayed in our museum at the house, I would say, the home of the St. Christopher National Trust.
According to the executive director, a structure will be built that will house the bell that will go on display shortly with its relevant history. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.